All right, let's get right into it. The world of digital security, as you know, is always in motion. New threats, new tech, totally new ways of working. And when the game changes that much, well, the rulebook has to change right along with it. And that is exactly what just happened with ISO 27002, which is basically the Bible for security pros everywhere.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why did this incredibly important guide get such a massive rewrite? We're not talking about a few small tweaks here and there. No, this was a complete top to bottom overhaul.
You see, this is so much more than just an update. It's a brand new way of thinking about security. So let's break down exactly what changed, why it's such a big deal, and what this new approach really means for pretty much every organization out there. Okay, first things first, let's look at the big picture. We're talking about how the very structure of the standard was reimagined, moving from something that was, let's be honest, a little complex and clunky to something way more cohesive. Now check this out. This slide really lays it all out. The old 2013 version, it was split into 14 different technical domains. It was super IT-centric, which, as you can imagine, created a lot of silos. The new 2022 version, it just tosses that whole idea out the window and brings in 4 simple, holistic themes that are designed to be cross-functional right from the get-go. The old version had a grand total of 114 different security controls you had to wrestle with. I mean, that's a lot to keep track of, and honestly, some of them kind of overlapped. And boom, the new version streamlines this all the way down to 93 controls. Now, hold on, this isn't about less security. Not at all. It's about making security smarter by merging controls that were redundant and really focusing on what actually matters today. So, how did they manage to streamline everything so neatly? Well, it all comes down to the new foundation, these 4 simple themes that now organize the entire standard. And here they are. Instead of those 14 technical domains, we now have organizational, people, physical, and technological. This structure is, well, it's brilliant because it's so intuitive. You can immediately see who owns what. Organizational controls, that's for leadership and compliance. People controls, that's for HR. Physical, facilities. And technological, that goes to the IT and security teams. Security is officially a team sport now. The organizational theme, which has 37 controls, is the biggest one. The best way to think about it is like the central nervous system of your entire security program. It's all about the big picture stuff, policies, governance, strategic decisions that guide the whole organization, like how you handle cloud services or threat intelligence. Next up, the people theme. Now, it only has 8 controls, but it's incredibly focused. This is your organization's immune system. It deals with all those human-centric risks. We're talking about everything from background checks to security awareness training, basically making sure your employees are a strong line of defense, not a weak link. Then you've got the physical theme. You know, in a world of cloud computing and remote work, it's so easy to forget about this stuff, but it is still absolutely critical. This covers protecting tangible things, your offices, your computers, your server rooms. And in today's hybrid world, this has never been more relevant. And finally, the technological theme. This is the heart of what we all think of as traditional IT security, but it's gotten a major upgrade. It now includes 34 controls that go way beyond just firewalls. We're talking about modern necessities like secure coding, data masking, and data leakage prevention to fight today's most sophisticated threats. Now, this new theme-based structure is fantastic, but the most powerful, the most innovative part of the 2022 update is something called attributes. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is a genuine game changer for how we manage security. So what in the world is an attribute? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a tag or a filter you'd use on a website. Each and every one of those 93 controls has a set of these tags, which lets you slice and dice your entire security program into different views for different audiences. There are basically 5 main types or categories of these attributes. You can filter controls by their type. You know, is it meant to prevent, detect, or correct an issue? Or by the security property it protects. Is it for confidentiality, integrity, or availability? You can even filter by cybersecurity concepts that map to other frameworks, like the really popular NIST cybersecurity framework. Each one is a different lens you can use to look at your security program. And this right here, this is where it all clicks. This is the magic of it all. Take just one control, like threat intelligence. Using these attributes, the Chief Information Security Officer can see it's both a hashtag preventative and a hashtag detective control. The IT team sees it as part of their hashtag threat_management capability. And when you're reporting to the board, you can map it directly to the hashtag identify and hashtag detect concepts from that NIST framework. It's one control, seen from multiple perspectives. It is just incredibly flexible.
Okay, so we've got themes and we've got attributes. Sounds great in theory, but how does an organization actually use all this stuff in the real world? How do we get from theory to practice?
Well, the process is actually refreshingly logical. It always starts with risk. Step 1, you figure out what could go wrong. Step 2, you go into your ISO 27002 toolkit and pick the right control to handle that risk. And step 3, and this is so important, you document why you chose it in a key document called a Statement of Application, or SOA for short.
This quote from the source material just perfectly captures the new philosophy. The standard is really pushing all of us to ask why for every single control we put in place. Is it treating a real risk? Does it satisfy a legal requirement? If the answer is no, then it's just security theater. You're wasting time and money without adding any real value.
And here's what that actually looks like. Let's say you're documenting why you need a remote work policy. A bad justification is just stating the obvious. We have remote workers. A good, audit-proof justification links that control directly to a specific identified risk, like Risk ID R22, the risk of data leaking out over unsecured home networks. See the difference? So, let's pull all of this together. We've talked about the new structure, the 4 themes, the power of attributes. What does this new security playbook actually mean for you and your organization? It really boils down to 3 huge benefits. First, it's way more holistic. It breaks down those silos and makes security a shared responsibility. Second, it's more modern. You've got 11 brand new controls built to handle today's challenges like cloud security and threat intelligence. And finally, it's just so much more flexible. Those attributes let you talk about security in a language that any department, from the boardroom to the server room, can actually understand. And that really brings us to the final thought here. The ISO 27002 update is pushing all of us to answer a really fundamental question. Is your security program just a static checklist you tick boxes on to stay compliant? Or are you using this new framework to build a truly dynamic security capability, one that's resilient, adaptive, and actually aligned with your entire business? That's the real challenge and the real opportunity.